The goal of this deck is that we're actually trying to make use of Sheoldred in a lot of ways. Now, the only thing I'm not doing in this deck is forcing my opponent to draw, but we're doing a lot of heavy drawing for ourselves, so we get a lot of life back and sustain ourselves. Plus, it just being a 4/5 Death Touch body for the 4 mana, it's just so good. And if you haven't seen this in play, well, you probably haven't been playing a whole lot of the standard format, because this thing is everywhere. And it's very strong, so it makes sense why it is. The deck idea that we're going with, though, is that we're trying to just be a strong control deck with Hero's Downfall, March of Red Sorrows as some control options. But we have the blue for Rana's Vortex. This is a new spell. For 1 blue, you get to return target creature or planeswalker we don't control back to the owner's hand. If we manage to kick it for the extra 3, we put it on the bottom of their deck. This is particularly useful for removal because early game you can just bounce something or just, spend only 1 blue, get rid of a token permanently. Or you can spend the 4 mana and put the card on the bottom of the deck, so it's kind of like exiling it. So if we deal with like an opponent's underdog, we don't give them the death trigger for the purpose of their blitz if they blitzed it. But not only that, we get to put it on the bottom of their deck so they can no longer just keep playing it back from their graveyard. The other cards that we are using, we have some suspicious stowaways in the deck. So that way we can get a nice unblocked draw ability. So if we hit the opponent while it's day, this will deal 1 point damage, we'll get a draw card, discard a card. If it's night, it'll be a 2/1, still be unblockable, but will give us just a straight draw, no discard. And that's just particularly useful for us, even if we have to discard, because we are running the Cruelty of Gix. Now, the first ability lets us look at our opponent's hand. We can take a creature or planeswalker, make them discard it. Most of the time, we probably won't even bother with that. Phase 2 on it, we can search our library for a card, add it to our hand, lose 3 life, and the third and last ability, which is most important, is that we can put target creature card from our graveyard onto the battlefield under our control. We have some Invoke Despairs, strong removal, great card draw. We have some Katose's the Silent Spider in the deck to make it so that way we can hate on our opponent's graveyard, but also steal all copies of a card, so we don't have to deal with it anymore. And for a strong revival target, I went with Toxrill in the deck. It feels like Toxrill is one of those cards that was amazing as a recursion target, but hasn't been able to see much play in the last meta. And I'm curious to see how well it can work in this one. Because of the end of turn, we put a -1/-1 counter on each creature we don't control. And if a creature with a -1/-1, I'm sorry, we don't give them -1/-1 counters, we give them slime counters. But each slime counters on a creature gives them -1/-1 while Toxrill's on the board. And if a creature with a slime counter while Toxrill's on the board dies, we get 1/1 slugs. Well, creatures we don't control with slime counters specifically. The way that this is helpful for us, because it allows us to hate on token decks, it also allows us to hate on mono black a little bit, because if they go for like a blitzed underdog on their side, if we let the underdog survive the combat because we have enough health, end of turn it triggers that before they must sacrifice it, Toxrill gets to resolve first to put the slime counter, so we'll get a 1/1 out of it. So we have a lot of interesting control options. We also do have some Thirst for Discovery and some Tainted Indulgence for draw to help go with the ability to force light the Toxrill into our graveyard for the purpose of recursion with the Cruelty of Gix. But also these are just great draw cards to help us, be able to set up the correct mana for our Invoke Despair. And overall, I think this should be a fun deck. Alright. I think I'm still going to risk the keep, even though we don't have any of our early interactions. I mean, good to hear you're doing well with the mono red against the mono whites there. Because mono white that you're dealing with is for the historic format, so you're probably having to deal with more the Angel Coco mono white. I'm not sure what else Mono White is doing in that format. We'll land, we'll pass. We'll do Indulgence during our opponent's turn. Where's your counterspell, opponent? There it is. Unfortunately, we don't get to draw to put anything onto the board. Take advantage of their tap mana. That's a shame. Meant to put the black source down. I accidentally grabbed the blue. Let's get thirsty here. Opponent goes for a Memory Deluge in response. That's great for us, because that means that we can use Katose, get rid of their Memory Deluge from their graveyard, and take all the copies from their deck. We'll also be able to now see their hand and know exactly what they're doing. I was tempted to take away the counterspell, but at this point we have enough lands that I'm not too worried about Make Disappear. Alright, so we still get the exile on all their cards. And it looks like we're in a bit of a mirror match. So, Hullbreaker Horror, Leyline Binding, Farewell, lots of Emperors. Okay, so this is Super Friends. We aren't in a mirror, but it's definitely Super Friends. Okay. Opponent has a negate in hand. Important to know. Land to board. We'll go for another Katose. I feel like we jam it now while they don't have the likelihood of drawing a new Make Disappear. We steal the Make Disappears. All the counterspells gone except for that negate. They can, yes, bounce the Katose, but that's perfectly fine.
Now, what do we have here?
Hooray for the free wins because your opponent's AFK. Yeah, Relic Robber tokens definitely destroy opponents pretty quickly. But so far, we're at the point where we're just going to exile, like, our opponent's deck away. Oh no, they have the Essence Scatter! Let's go for Underdog. They cut it down.
Now this is a juicy secret.
The Sheoldred should be able to resolve now. Unless they literally just top deck something. Put a stop at the start of the opponent's turn. Actually, no, I take it back. Let's not. Alright, they go for the land. I'm trying to see if they might go for the top drill or not.
There's no secret I can't.
Yeah, the plussing from Kaido is actually going to kill them with Sheoldred on the board. Go for a Trespasser. Let's see. Imagine someone's playing green-white, and they have Anointed Procession and Parallel Lives. And you hit them with a Relic Robber. Wow. Yeah, that would be terrible. You just have to hope that they don't have a way to pump all those tokens and make use of them. Let's go ahead and just exile the cut down. Pass it to the opponent. I'm actually really not afraid of them having the Kaido there too much. Go for the Emperor.
The energy of battle, then guide it like water.
See, this should get the negate out of their hands. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, we got the negate.
I have got new moves to teach you.
Do they bring out the Toxtril? That's still the question. They'll only have 1 mana available to them after they bring Toxtril to the board. It will shrink our cards. But we can use Rana Vortex to get rid of it. Oh, they're going to farewell. That's rude.
We must protect the people.
Thanks. I'll be taking that now.
Well, the Sheoldreds just keep coming. And we haven't actually attacked our opponent once. This is all just drain from Sheoldred.
Show them how we greet our enemies.
I know something.
Alright, Punky's doing a draw and discard. Alright, there's the Toxtril. Do you have the negate? They could actually sacrifice Toxtril to itself to draw a card. One, two, three, four. You know what? 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6. We're gonna do X6. I'm gonna leave 2 mana open because I don't remember, but I didn't see a Spell Pierce. But in case they had it in their deck,
Done for good.
we're playing around it. Ooh, nice to hear, nice to hear. Good luck getting your platinum.
Now this is a juicy secret.
Uh-oh, that gives them life linkers.
Consider yourself fortunate, Arthur.
But they're doing the plus? Why would you plus and not minus?
Dire tactics.
The sheer number of lands we've drawn here. Alright, so the opponent only has the ability to draw 1 more turn. Why are you going to use that? Okay.
Blood for knowledge. A fair trade.
So, does the opponent have a way to...
Missions come.
That'll get you blue or black creatures. I know exactly what it gets you.
I won't stop until I've uncovered all.
Let's activate this. Cycle this. Alright. Oh, you went for Toxtril. Okay, that's fine. That's also fine.
I bring order to this world.
Because we put Sheoldred to the board and they lose. They have no way to stop this unless they literally drew a destroy spell. But this also works as well. So, here we go. Invoke Despair. They don't have an enchantment sacrifice, so they lose. Sheoldred was just the thing to beat the opponent, because they just drew themselves to death. I think this is a hand we mull. We'll keep this one. Oh no, I mean, it's just like I said for the Daggerburn style idea. It would be brutal. It works with relic robbers. The only problem is you have to come across an opponent that also can't make use of the tokens. It is definitely a double-edged sword card. Alright, we're against Mono Red. And Mono Red is doing Mono Red things already. Let's get Trespasser down. Alright, they Lightning Strike, give up a card. Give up Hammer Hand. Okay. Let's go for a pass. They'll turn it to night this way. And we use March of Red Sorrows to kill the Kumano. 1, 2, 3. They get hit by a Play with Fire, they scry, they left it on top. Ooh, and they're stuck on mana. We're a little stuck on mana too, but not much of an issue with us overall. Let's actually take away both their spells. Just in case they do have the creature allows them to kick to play those spells. Yeah, your idea would be brutal. If the tokens are big bad, then you are kind of screwed, yeah. We'll take the hit. Probably should have blocked that in all honesty, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm just gonna be greedy here. Alright, we'll discard the land. Pass it back. Yeah, I should have blocked. Plan on blocking this time. Oh, that's bad. Where do you put the counter with that Raiju? On the Raiju itself? We kill the Raiju. Go for the lounge. Play Gix. Go for the reanimation. Get back Trespasser. ETB will eat both these creatures. I hear you, but don't see anything happening. What do you mean?
Yep, I'm basically a professional at saving Innistrad by now.
You may need to
Let's bring things up to a simmer.
refresh the screen. I don't know what's going on. My bitrate just shot up super high. I think... Alright. It should be visible now. See me now, Izzy? Alright. Hit the opponent with an invoke. Yeah, sorry if things are getting choppy there. I'm not sure what's going on. Alright, hit the opponent with another Invoke to spare. Make them sacrifice their Kumano that they just brought out. Gonna go land, spend 2, play an Underdog. With our opponent at 7 or 10 with 2 cards in hand, we're at 7 with 3 cards. Sheoldred should allow us to recover a lot of life. But they keep coming in. They just played a Devastator for 4. Okay, so yeah, I can play Sheoldred, and we can invoke Despair. That should settle the game here. Because not only do we recover 6 life because of the draw that we get, but we put the opponent down to 6. With this attack, they're down to 3. Their draw brings them down to 1. We should be able to end this. Yep. So, Hammerhand gives that haste. We can't block. They can't pump it. So, yeah, we win. Let's see. I think we have a pretty good key. We'll take it. The only drawback is we don't have a untapped source for Tainted Indulgence for turn 2. But we do have Thirst for Discovery on 3. As long as the opponent isn't super aggressive against us, I think this is pretty decent here. Draw a Stowaway. Best draw probably for us just an untapped source so that we can go land Stowaway. Alright, underdog for our opponent. Underdog is basically going to be in any deck that has black right now. Just because it's just such a good 2-drop. Whether using it aggressively or defensively, it's just a great 2-drop body to put out. And then you can blitz it out just to get yourself card draw and pressure. See, how about 4 mana instant speed, but it costs double? Wait, double black, or are you saying double black, double red, or are you saying just it costs a black and a red? The thing is, I don't think it necessarily need to be red. I'm just thinking color pie wise. Normally, the token generators are in green. I was saying go maybe black-green on it. Alright, let's go ahead and attack it. Get the draw discard. Before we play anything so we can see what we're working with. I'll see about maybe doing that. Maybe we'll go ahead and just discard the Takenuma. Pass it back. It'll turn to Knight. A little worried about this Hearse, unfortunately, causing problems for us, because Gix no longer really helps us out, because they can always just use that in response. We may just choose to discard the Cruelty of Gix because of the opponent just having the Hearse out there so early. A Wandering Emperor, unfortunate. So they're going to use that, get rid of our werewolf right now.
Now you've done it. Hat's coming off.
No, nothing we could have done to save it. Go for the Thirst. Potence is nice. Gonna be greedy, discard the land here. Let's see, land, blitz. I know that they can eat this out of our graveyard with the Curse, but I'm using this just to get rid of the Emperor. Because it was either I play the underdog as a 2-drop, and they can just plus onto their underdog, and we wouldn't be able to, you know, fight it anyways. Or just get rid of the Emperor right now. At this point, we can go now land, take their Emperors from their deck with Kotose. I'm wondering what the blue is in their deck. It could just be white-black, and they're just using this because it's a cycle land.
I am vengeance, blood and righteous. My ways are not for
Is it going to be better for us to invoke them? Probably better for us just to invoke them. Because they only have those as sacrifice targets. One thing that they can actually do is they could actually blitz this and use this as the swing to do more damage, but ultimately it's better for them to probably save that for eating cards from graveyard. Because if we go for the Kotose, eat their graveyard of a card, they can just activate this in response to deny it. Still best for us to do this, get rid of the underdog right now. If they let this resolve, we get rid of all their underdogs. So yeah, they're going to activate the hearse. The hearse is actually a really good card because it's both... Oh! Opponent exiles the Planeswalkers. We weren't targeting the Planeswalker. I will take out all of those. But now we can see what's in their deck. So they are white-black. There is no blue. They have cut downs. They have concealing curtains. Rites of Oblivion. Meat Hook. 1 missionary. 2 Lilianas. 4 wedding announcements. 2 paragons. Okay. Got a pretty good idea of what they do now. They're kind of... in a tight spot for our opponent now. Like, this hearse is actually still an issue, though. Okay.
Happy to help, but I'm taking the credit.
Force us to sacrifice.
Sacrifices must be made.
We use Invoke, we get rid of both of these, but I might want to save the Invoke for getting rid of the enchantment. Let's actually go for the Invoke, because if we hit an untapped land, we can get Stowaway on board. So we do hit the land, we get Stowaway. Alright, opponent starts eating some cards from our graveyard. What'd they hit? They hit the Kotose and the Invoke. Okay, so we use Trespasser. We eat the curtains. This way they don't have anything that they could potentially discard and reanimate that's worthwhile. I want to bring this down before we potentially attack and go for a Cruelty of Gix if we hit an untapped land. Okay, so they do actually exile both those. Get rid of the Takenuma. Back in. Discard Tower. Play this. Go for the Cruelty of Gix. Start on option 1. Get rid of the Wandering Emperor. Let's see. Put our creature card from a graveyard. So, the creature can actually come from anyone's graveyard, but they don't actually run any creatures in their deck. All their creatures come from tokens or are in the enchantment form. The only... Actually, no, they do have one creature that I remember seeing. Well, two of them. They had Underdog and they had the Angel. Oh, and, well, they also had the 1/2 drop that allows them to recur card. Was that it for their creatures? I think that was it. The other thing is, this thing's only a crew requirement of 2. Alright, so we're going to lose 3 life, search for a card. We'll grab Toxtro. Land. Toxtro. And I'll poke in the 1. Because the 1 is unblockable. We'll probably discard Thirst for Discovery here. Because we play Tainted Indulgence and we want to save the March. Let's actually discard the... Did I play my land for the turn? No, I don't think I did. No, I did! Oh, shoot. That's okay. Put a stop on my upkeep. That way we can potentially draw discard before Cruelty of Gix resolves. The reason why I want to do that is because I want to see if I can force them to tap the Hearse before it can be used as a blocker. Alright, Paragon. They don't have anything in their graveyard. Oh, that's right, the ordering of operations. So we don't get to immediately kill those. Yeah, I'm gonna eat one of these. Get the draw. Still have the stop on our upkeep, though. Go for the draw. Alright, nothing worth giving up here. I guess this is just a pass turn here. Should have actually attacked with the stowaway still. That was a loss of 1 point damage against the opponent. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna do this kill the Paragon. I imagine the opponent top decked a Meathook Massacre here. And if that is the case, block it like this. Nope, it's another Sarah Paragon. Okay. So kill those. Get some more tokens. I can't bring that back from the graveyard yet. Let's tuck you away. They're gonna crew, we tuck that away, and we swing lethal. Because they attacked the way they did, they got a draw, which means they didn't get the tokens for protecting themselves with. And this should end this match. So the opponent doesn't have the 4 mana to threaten us with another Wandering Emperor here. Yep, you can eat those cards, that's fine. And we'll eat that. And there we go, we got there. Black-White Reanimator, Super Friends, we did it.
Thank you for watching the video. Please leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe for more content. If you'd like to join me while I stream, you can find me on Twitch, the link below. I hope to see you again in the next video and have a nice one.